Dear students, in today's class we are going to discuss three important concepts of a pointer. One is structure pointer, another is pointer to pointer, and the last one is pointer to array. Today we are going to finish the pointer chapter and some of the questions will be given to you. The rest of the things belongs to the pointer we will be discussing in the questionnaire part under discussion classes, and in the next class we are going to discuss some of the problems that left behind in the function chapter. Let first comes to what is structure pointer. You must remember that if a variable that is declared with a structure, that is known as your structure variable. If that variable is declared with a pointer as a structure variable, that is known as your structure pointer. For interacting with the structure members, we need two operators. One is the dot operator as a membership operator for the normal variable of structure, whereas while you are interacting with a pointer to structure, then you have to use the arrowhead operator. There is no arrowhead operator. The minus symbol followed by the greater than that represent the symbol of arrowhead operator that is used to access the structure members. Hence, the definition clarifies a structure pointer is defined as the pointer in which points to the address of the memory block that stores the structure known as a structure pointer. The structure pointer tells the address of a structure. Means in the normal case, if you want to store the variable of any data type, you need that data type is pointer, because pointer stores the address of a variable. For integer, the pointer is integer. For character, the pointer is character. For float, the pointer is float. Like this, for storing the address of a structure, we need a variable. That variable is known as your structure variable, and the pointer is known as your structure pointer. How you have to define? Suppose you declare a structure person, its member is age and weight. You can declare globally or within the main function, that is locally. The benefit of global you can access anywhere. The benefit of the local you can access within that block only. Then to interact with the structure, we need the structure variable. As we have discussed in the chapter structure, either you declare the structure variable before this semicolon, or if you did not declare previously, you can declare structure name followed by structure variable. Two variables are taken. One is a pointer to structure, and another is a only structure variable. What is its requirement? Because the normal structure variables address will store in the pointer structure, because without the pointer structure variable, you cannot store the normal variables address to the specific pointer variable. Hence, person ptr is the pointer to structure variable, and person1 is a normal variable. Its address is stored in a person ptr, which is a pointer to structure variable. Now, by the help of this person ptr, you can interact with the age and the weight, but you have to use the arrowhead operator. See, if you want to enter age, it asks you at the runtime, then it asks person ptr arrowhead age, because for the pointer we need the arrowhead operator, and for integer value the format string is %ld. If really, if you do not take pointer to structure, then you can take person1. Then what you have to write? Person1 dot age. Dot is a membership operator for normal variable, and arrowhead is a pointer to structure operator. Means by the help of your arrowhead, the pointer variable can interact with the general member of the structure. Like this, enter weight, again person ptr arrowhead weight. The process in which we store the value, in the same process we access the value, person ptr arrowhead age, person ptr arrowhead weight. If you want to run this program, then what we have to do? We have to do by moving to our online compiler, carry this program that I have previously written, then moves to your online compiler. As usual, we are running. Then by executing or running, then it asks you to enter the value, like enter age. It asks, suppose I enter 100, name is Ram, so output display that is 100, and weight display where Ram, because weight as a number value should enter, but I enter character, hence the output is not carried. Suppose I enter age is 100 and weight is 200, the result will display age is 100 and weight is 200. Then comes to the next one, pointer to pointer. Remember, a pointer variable can store the address of another variable. If you want to store the one pointer's address to another variable, then the double pointer is declared, and the double pointer is known as your pointer to pointer. Again, I am telling, if you want to store the address of a variable, then you have to take the help of a pointer. If you want to store the address of a pointer variable, then it has to be declared as a double pointer, means 2 stars will be declared. If you want to store the address of a double pointer, the triple pointer to be declared, and that type of representation is known as your pointer to pointer. How we have to do this? Let's see what the definition written. As you know that pointer is used to store the address of a variable. Pointer reduces the access time of a variable, means we can indirectly access the element, hence the performance is more. However, in C, we can also define a pointer to store the address of another pointer. Such pointer is known as your double pointer, or some extent people tells it as a pointer to pointer. Pointer to pointer and double pointer meaning is same. The first pointer is used to store the address of a variable, whereas the second pointer is used to the address of the first pointer. Here you see, if it is a double pointer, then it has to store the address of another single pointer. If it is triple pointer, then it has to store the address of a double pointer, and so on. Like suppose we want to store the address, then the address will be stored where? The address will be stored in a pointer variable, means the general value is address stored in a pointer variable, and the pointer variable's address is stored in another variable, that is known as your double pointer. The double pointer value's address will be stored in another variable, that is known as your triple pointer, and so on. How you have to do it? See, the value of integer a is 10. Suppose the integer pointer p is declared as a single pointer. Integer double pointer p means what does it represent? In p, age address will store, and in pp, the p's address will store. Then that is done. First of all, ampersand a means age address will be stored in p. Now, p's address will be stored in pp, because p is a single pointer, double pp is a double pointer, and hence p's address will be stored in pp. Again, I am repeating, normal variable age address is stored in p. Pointer variable's address is stored in a double pointer. Then if you want to access p, what will it display? It will display the address of a. If you want to display pp, what will it display? It will display the p, means where the age address will be stored. If you want to access pointer p, what does it means? Which address will store, that value will be displayed. In p, age address is stored, means pointer p means it will display 10. If you access pointer p, which means in pp whose address is stored? P's address stored. In p whose address stored? Age address stored, means age value will display. Means in pointer p and pointer pp, the value will be 10 10, and in p it will display the address of a. In pp, as it carries the address of p, it will display the address of p that holds it out. What it is represent? Address of a, it will display, because address of a is the p holds. Address of p is pp holds, but indirectly if you access p, it will display 10. If you access pp, that is, it will also display 10. What the graph represent? In p, p2's address is stored in p. Now you just see, if the number's address is ff4 is stored in p as a address, p's address is ff2, that is stored in p2. If you access number, it is 50. If you access only p, it is ff4. If it is pointer of p, that is 50, because whose address is stored, that value will display. If you access p2, that is triple f2. If you access pointer of p2, which means whose address p2 holds, that is p. P holds which address, that is number, that value will display, because pointer means the value is extracted, and only pointer variable means the address will be extracted. That is, indirectly, by keeping ourselves in p, we access the number. By keeping ourselves in p2, we access the number. Hence, in all the cases, the value pointer of p is 10 and pointer of pp is also 10. That is known as your pointer to pointer. If you want to run this program, what you have to do? You move to your online compiler. If it is previously written, copy this code, moves to your online compiler as usual in the similar way, start running the program. What it will display? The first edge address, second is page address, then the indirect access of a p and a pp, that will in all cases that is 10 and 10. In this way we access indirectly by the help of your pointer to pointer. Next comes to pointer to array, means the array can be accessed indirectly through the help of your pointer. How it is possible? Suppose my number is an array having 4 elements is being declared. That address, first address is stored in the pointer ptr, because pointer variable has the ability to store the address only my number, means the first address stored means 0th location address where the 25 is stored. By storing the first address we can access the rest of the element, because every pointer is incremented by 1, it will goes to the next location. Hence the loop will continue. How many times? 4 times. 0 is less than 4, yes. Pointer of a ptr plus I means pointer of ptr of 0 means the first location where it is stored. Then I incremented by 1. 1 is less than 4, yes. ptr of 1 means the next byte location will move. Like this 4 times we move through the pointer, then you can access it. By accessing the array equally meaning to access the pointer. But pointer is why it is important? Because instead of taking the maximum, how much memory is required at the runtime, that much memory will be taken, which enhances the runtime performance of the program. If you want to run this code, again move to your online compiler, copy the code if you have previously written or freshly write the program, then start running the program. You can access the element whatever present, that is 25, 50, 75 and 100 is stored. The concept is known as your array of pointers or pointer to array. Next comes to how space consumption by the pointer will measure. As the different bit of operating system is loaded and a different version of compiler is there, in online compiler most of the cases pointer takes 8 bytes it will show, but in a turbo compiler each data type of a pointer takes 2 bytes of memory. In two way we want to give the space consumption by the pointer data type in memory. We declare integer pointer, character pointer, float pointer and double pointer. Size of we know as a special type operator to measure the space consumed by data type. If you measure size of x, size of y, size of z, size of k in online compiler, it will display 888. If you run the same program in a turbo compiler, it will display 222. From this we can come to know what is the space consumption by the pointer in memory. If you want to move to the online compiler, copy this set of code. In both way I want to run it because the people confuse in many way, and I am first running in the online compiler. See, it will display 888. If I want to move to the turbo compiler and start running this program, same program it is written here, then it will display what? 222. Why multiple times? Because I have not placed clear screen. Suppose I am placing clear screen, so previous output will be cleared. What will go out? The 4 2s will display. So that differentiate according to the versions of software you are using and operating system you are using, the space consumption will be little bit vary. But remember, in online compiler the space consumption by pointer is 8, but in a turbo compiler the space consumption of a pointer is 2 bytes. So in today's class we discuss 3 important concepts in addition to space consumption by pointer in the memory: structure to pointer, pointer to pointer and pointer to array. I think today's topics is essential to you. You understand. If you like the video, please like the video. If you did not subscribe, kindly subscribe. If you are having comment, kindly make the comment. And we have given some assignment questions to you in pointer. Many questions will be given, but few questions we have given to you. That is, using pointer to store any element, find out sum and average. Use to pointer to compare the value. Using pointer to store array element, then access it. Use dynamic memory allocation function to store the records of in a structure, then display. Use pointer to store name, address and date of birth, then display. And in the next class we are going to provide the solution left behind in function chapter or any other chapter. And in the next most class we are going to provide one of the important and very last chapter of the C programming before preprocessor is file handling. Thank you. See you in the next class.